1500 before century, Hindu religion was born. It appeared in India. The religion grew together with the Aryan nation that came to India. The Aryan is a nomaden that came from the Central Asia through the Caliber Gap. With emergence, first the Dravidian nation, whom is the real nation that lives in India, went from south to Plateau Deccan. Since that time, the Dravidian and the Aryan grew together and made its cultures mix, and since that time Hindu religion was born. The growth of Hindu religion in India split into four phases. There is Veda age, Brahmana age, Upanishad age, and Buddha age. In Veda age, there is some gods they call Trimurti, and they believe the gods is the owner of the universe. The gods' names is Brahma, the nature creator, Vishnu, the nature keeper, and Shiva, the god of nature destruction and death. In Brahma age, there is someone they call Brahmana. Brahmana is someone that brought the offerings to the gods. And in this age, Veda book was born. Veda used the guidelines for the preparation of procedures for religious ceremonies. Next is Upanishad age. In this age, not just procedure for religious ceremonies, but in Upanishad age, there is development and compilation of religious philosophy. The last age is Buddha age. This age starts when Suddhodana king's son named Siddhartha interpreted the Veda from a logical point of view and developed a system of yoga and meditation as a way to draw closer to God. Buddha religion is the development of Hinduism, and in fact, the Buddha is a term for people who have attained enlightenment. Buddhism itself means true in the Indian language. Originally, Buddhism was not a religion, but the teachings of a person named Siddhartha Gautama. He was the son of the king Suddhodana. Suddhodana religion is Hindu, and Siddhartha was born in 563 BC, and the hermits predicted that Prince Siddhartha would later become the Buddha, and it is said that the father was sad because if his son became the Buddha, no one would replace him as a king. All the hermits advised not to let Siddhartha see old people, sick people, dead people, and her hermit. And finally, Siddhartha never left the palace until he was 29 years old. He sneaked out of the palace and saw all of it, and he asked, what made it happen and what could liberate man? Since then, Siddhartha came out of the palace and wandered about as a hermit. One day, he arrived in the city of Bodh Gaya and rested under a bodh tree. At the same place in the month of Vaisakha, he got an answer and was described as enlightenment. The Buddha found that suffering results from craving, dislike, and ignorance. And a taste of peace without suffering is enlightenment or nirvana. And to get it, we have to have a right view, right thought, right speech, right behavior, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. After the Buddha died, its followers spread the teachings that were eventually called Buddhism, with its holy book, the Tripitaka. And under King Ashoka, who was originally a Hindu from Maurya dynasty, he spread many Buddhist priests throughout his territory and out of the kingdom. In 78 AD, there was a split between Buddhists who were divided into two schools, namely Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism. Mahayana was more complex, and those that approached Buddhism were actually the Hinayana school in Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar, and Laos. Thus, finally Hinduism and Buddhism spread to various regions and to the archipelago, and there is a theory that explains the entry of Hindus and Buddhists into Indonesia. The first is the facial theory, the theory put forward by N.J. Crum, on the grounds that the Indians came to Indonesia to trade. A group that Indian traders are called the Vaisya caste. This trade caused many traders to live in Indonesia and get married and through social interaction, there spread Hindu and Buddhist religions to Indonesia. And this theory is doubtful because it must not spread far from trading location, but in Indonesia it has spread inland because of the Hindu kingdom in the interior. The second theory is the cavalry theory, put forward by F.D.K. Bosch, which says that the soldiers who lost or were tired of facing the war in India and finally left India, and they were the ones who built a new colony as a place to live. And that is where the spread of Hinduism. The weakness of the theory, this is because there is no written evidence that there was ever colonization by Indian knights. There are many Hindu and Buddhist kingdoms in Indonesia. We start from the Hindu kingdom. The first is the Kutai kingdom, which is one of the oldest Hindu kingdoms in Indonesia. Founded in the 4th century in Kutai is Kalimantan with its famous king Mulawarman. Its power is in the upper reaches of the Mahakam River with its territory to the entire East Kalimantan. Evidence of the existence of the kingdom is 7 Yupa pieces found between 1879 and 1940 in the upstream area of the Mahakam River. Prasasti is written in Palawa letters. From one of these Yupas is it known that the king of Mulawarman donated 20,000 cows to the Brahmins. Tarumanagara Kingdom is the second oldest Hindu kingdom in Indonesia. The existence of the Tarumanagara Kingdom was strengthened by the news of China and news from a Kashmiri priest who said that the religion followed by the Taruma people was Hindu. Tarumanagara Kingdom was founded by Raja Diraja Guru Jayasingawarman, followed by the king Dharmayawarman Purnawarman. During the leadership of Purnawarman, the Tarumanagara Kingdom reaches its peak. This is evidenced by the 7 inscriptions found. From the inscriptions, we can see the prosperity of the Tarumanagara Kingdom, but unfortunately its prosperity must be followed by its decline until Tarumanagara Kingdom was split into 2 kingdoms, namely the Sunda Kingdom and the Galuh Kingdom. Kingdom Pakuan Pajajaran or Pajajaran is the center of the government of the Evidence Kingdom, a kingdom located in Bogor, West Java in the 7th century, and its famous king is Sri Baduga Maharaja. The beginning of this kingdom was because the last Tarumanagara king, Sri Maharaja Linggawarman, had 2 children, all girls. One of her children, named Dewi Manasi, married to Tarusbawa from Sunda. The next was the Buddhist kingdom. The first, the Sriwijaya Kingdom. Its establishment, Sriwijaya Kingdom, originated from the holy journey of Dapunta Hyang. At that time, Dapunta Hyang went on a holy journey or Siddhayatara by boat. He brought 20,000 troops together with his troops. Dapunta Hyang finally built the Sriwijaya Kingdom in South Sumatra and Jambi. Then, he expanded the kingdom to the Malay Peninsula area. The Sriwijaya Kingdom succeeded in controlling important water areas, namely the Malacca Strait and the Sunda Strait. They also collaborate with traders from China, India, Cambodia, the Philippines, Burma, Arab to Africa. The second is Majapahit Kingdom. Majapahit is a large kingdom on the island of Java, centered in East Java, Indonesia. It was founded around 1293 to 1500 AD and controlled most of the archipelago. The location of the Majapahit Kingdom originated from a small village in this forest of attraction. The founder of the Majapahit Kingdom was Raden Wijaya, who was crowned with the name Kartarajasa Jayawardhana. Based on the Kartagama statebook in its golden age, Majapahit was a kingdom with a court culture that was fair, elegant and sophisticated. The taste of art and literature is high with its complex system of religious rituals. The two major Hindu-Buddhist religions whose people live side by side in harmony. The third is the Kalinga Kingdom. The Kalinga Kingdom, or the Kaling Kingdom, which is a kingdom in central Java, which was once led by a woman, Ratu Sima. She is described as a woman leader who is firm and obedient to the regulations that apply in the Kerajana. The kingdom is sometimes also called the Holy Kingdom. The location of the Kalinga Kingdom is thought to be located in central Java, although it is not certain. Most researchers, the historian, agree. There are several inscriptions of this royal heritage, namely the Tukmas inscription, the Sojomarto inscription, and it has a Wind temple and a Bubrah temple. The spread of Buddhism throughout much of Asia was peaceful and occurred in several ways. Buddha Sakyamuni was the first to establish this, basically a teacher. He traveled to neighboring kingdoms to share insight with interested and receptive people. Likewise, he directed his monks to spread to the world and preach his teachings. He didn't ask to others to denounce and give up their own religion and switch to a new religion, because he was not trying to found a religion. He is simply trying to help others cope with the unhappiness and suffering they have created themselves due to a lack of understanding. Later generations of followers were inspired by Buddha's example and followed with other Buddhist methods they found beneficial. This is how what is now called Buddhism spread far and wide. Sometimes the process is slow and natural. For example, when Buddhist traders visited and settled in a various place, some members of the local community were naturally attracted to the beliefs of the foreigners. As was the entry of Islam to Indonesia and Malaysia, such a process occurred with Buddhism in the Oasis countries along the Silk Road in Central Asia during the 2 centuries before and after AD. As the local rulers and their people learned more about this Indian religion, they invited the monks from the merchants' native region as advisors or teachers, and in this way eventually adopted Buddhist beliefs. Another natural way is through the slow cultural fusions of colonized people, such as the Greeks into the Buddhist Gandhara society of present-day Central Pakistan during the centuries following the 2nd century BC. However, often this spread occurred mainly because of the influence of a powerful king who practiced and supported Buddhism. For example, in the middle of the 3rd century BC, Buddhism spread throughout southern India due to a personal support of King Ashoka. This great empire builder didn't force his people to adopt Buddhist beliefs. However, by engraving royal orders on iron pillars throughout his territory, encouraging his citizens to lead ethical lives, and by applying the principles himself, he inspired others to apply Buddha's teachings. King Ashoka also actively spread Buddhism outside his kingdom by sending envoys to faraway places. On several occasions, he has acted at the invitation of the foreign rulers, such as King Tisha of Sri Lanka. On another occasion, he sent monks as his official representative. These emissary monks, however, don't force others to convert, but merely provide Buddhism, which allows the people to choose for themselves. This is evidenced by the fact that in places such as South India and southern Burma, Buddhism took root rapidly, while in other places such as the Greek colonies of Central Asia, there is no record of any direct influence. Other religious kings, such as the Mongol ruler of the 16th century Altan Khan, invited Buddhist teachers and declared Buddhism in the official religion there to help unite their societies and strengthen their power. In the process, they may ban practices other than Buddhism, their native religion, and even punish those who practice them. But this crackdown is primarily driven by political reasons. Such ambitious rulers never force their citizens to practice Buddhist worship or belief. This is not part of religious principle. Hinduism and Buddhism are religions that have many followers and have spread to various regions including Indonesia, Indonesia itself has many traces of its kingdoms, and its adherents are still many today.